You are the missing link for a lot of people, where you brought fresh ideas, zest, and life into a lot of people's lives. You are the missing link. You are the key to a lot of people's situations, especially when you're no longer around. People see now that you had the value, you had the answers, you were cool with it as well. You were open minded, and you may have been shut down. But here's the thing, now that you may no longer be accessible, all right, people can't just hit you up and say, hey, can I get your idea on this? People may not be able to say, hey, can you come and help me out, right? Can you give me the numbers on this? Can you, show me the way? Because people a lot of times will fumble a brilliant mind. They will always fumble the mind of an individual. All right. It's because people feel like maybe you don't look the part or you don't seem the part. And so people will just overlook you and look to the next best thing, the next best person who seems like a better fit. And oftentimes they don't chase somebody who has that proper mindset. It has to be about the money, it has to be about the looks, it has to be about the clout, right? And so people wish they can call you now because they realize you are the missing link now. It's always in hindsight, right? Hindsight is a crazy thing, because it's like in that situation, in that time, people don't realize the value that you hold, how incredibly intelligent you are, or how valuable you really are to a team, to a family, to a friend group, to the workplace, right? They always fumble you. They always want to pick at you. They always want to make fun, play a lot of games until there's no more games to be played. They've all been outplayed. They've all been done too many times. And now you took off and you fly and you go where you're respected. You go where you could be yourself as well. And now people wish they could call you now. You're the missing link. They need you now. They need you now. They realize whoever is missing, it's that guy, it's that woman. They know that it's you, right? They know that you hold a lot of weight. And they always will realize that when it's too late. All right. I feel like Dr. Seuss right now, but honestly, it's like you'll be around a team, right? And let's think about the workplace, because I feel like this is very prevalent. Like, you'll be a part of a workplace team and have some really awesome ideas or concepts or even suggestions for how the team can be better run, right? And then it's like people will make it seem like, no, you're stepping on their toes. Like, you should know your place. You shouldn't be saying nothing. You shouldn't be suggesting anything. You're just one morsel of the team. So whatever you have to say is insignificant and it's not going to work. And I think it's because a lot of times when we bring forth great ideas, it bruises the egos of people who didn't think of it first, or, you know, don't really ever offer anything. You know what I mean? Like, it makes people trip out a little bit when they hear that you have something awesome to say or awesome to suggest, right? So then when you maybe disrespected, written up, micromanage, whatever it was, and you decide to leave, people realize now, wow, like, he actually made sense, or did she suggest that? Was it her? Because now we see that this was the perfect solution, right? But we don't have the resources now to actually implement this. We don't have the resources now to actually do this. If they were still here, it would be an easier thing, but they're no longer around. So what do we do when people realize after the fact that they fumbled you heavy, right? It could be your family, people just kind of overlooking you, right? People kind of thinking, well, who are you to us? You are just a fraction. You are just a morsel of the entire group. Who are you really, right? It could be any group. It could be any dynamic, right? Where you're being yourself and you offer awesome ideas. You bring forth fresh new views. You put forth awesome stances that a lot of people just not willing to look into. They just feel like it's not worth their time. They feel like it's just, like, who are you? Who are you compared to everybody else? Anybody can do that. Anybody can say that. And people will literally tell you to fall back. Like, nah, we're not going to do that. We're not into that. We don't do that here. And then in the end, right, it just ends up working out for you because you end up leaving the situation and you end up going and actually implementing these ideas that you knew would be successful or would be concrete. It would be successful, right? Whereas these people are here and they're kind of wishing that, you know what? They gave you that chance. They're kind of wishing that they listened to you. They're kind of wishing that they could hit you up now, call you, email you, right? But maybe they're worried they're on the block list. Who knows, right? So definitely understand that you are oftentimes the missing key, the missing link, right? And of course, you will see people trying to hit you up and see what's up with you now. Like, can they hang now? Can they call now? You know, they want to talk about that one thing you used to talk about. And it would be up to you, your discretion, to decide whether or not you want to do this venture, right? But definitely, you know, and let it be known in the comments if this has happened to you, where people try to hit you up after the fact for your ideas, right? Or maybe people were trying to steal your ideas after the fact when you were no longer around, right? And then after you see them doing what you suggested, but they shut down prior, let it be known in the comments if this has ever happened to you, okay? Of course, a lot of the situations you guys have dealt with, I have dealt with as well. You know, like people will, I've worked at jobs where I went to the boss because I was very candid. I was very open, right? So I didn't see no type of problem, right? I would go to the boss. I'd be like, hey, sir, you know, I see this as a problem here. I see this area could be improved, you know? And the boss would get very hostile. The boss would get very, not angry, but like offended that I would even suggest such a thing. Or, you know, once again, who are you? They bring this vibe like, who are you to tell me that, right? And then when I leave the job and I come back, I see that they're doing now what I suggested to do, right? It's like no one says anything, no one, and it's crazy how what will change and the things that how a place evolves or how people evolve and change when you're no longer around, right? The changes they make, right? The implementations they put forth when you were the person who suggested it in the first place and they overlooked you like, nah, we're not going to do all that. So it's really, really funny, okay? So everybody, keep being the brilliant mind that you are. And even if you get shut down, even if your ideas get shut down, keep working on yourselves and understand that a lot of people see you. They know that you bring the heat. They know you bring the fire. They know that you have the answers, and they're not always going to treat you fairly because it's an ego thing. People don't want to, take your suggestions or take your ideas because they feel like, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't we think of that? Right? So they'll shut it down even if they know it's brilliant. Okay. So you got to know you're brilliant by yourself. You got to know who you are and keep growing yourself. You're going to get denied. You're going to get rejected sometimes, left out sometimes. But guess what? You got places to be. You got to boogie. You got to do your thing. You got to look up. You got to stay up. You got to take care of yourself. You got to, wake up, be a go-getter, go after your dreams type of thing. You got to, just be in alignment with who you are as a person. And once you do that, once you're able to really ground yourself in that, these sort of situations will pretty much just fly off your shoulders. All right, everybody, thank you so much for the support, all the appreciation I can give to you guys. It is here. I love you guys so very much. Thank you for the positivity, good vibes, and I wish you guys all have a wonderful day, okay? Thank you and have a good one. Bye.